Tony Live. I'm here at the Land of Kush, located on 840 North Utah Street. Land of Kush Vegetarian Restaurant right here in Baltimore. Experience good food and a healthy way of living. The Land of Kush inspires you to feed your spirit. I'm here with Greg Brown. We're about to celebrate a new way of life with healthier food. Greg, I appreciate you taking out the time with me, man. No doubt about it.
No problem.
Just a couple questions now. You're a co-owner,
right?
Or you're the founder,
right?
Co-owner. Along with your partners. You want to give them a quick shout out, real quick?
Yeah, my wife, Naja White Brown. You know, inspirational, hard worker. Put up some money. All that good stuff.
See what I did there?
All the
I got you to shout out the wife.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's get that out the way.
It was going to happen regardless.
All right, I read something about a place called the Vegetarian Kitchen.
Okay.
Right? And that basically being the birth of what you have today. Talk a little bit about that.
So what happened was, I was working at a call center when I got out of college, and I didn't want to be there. I didn't feel like I was fulfilling my purpose. So an elder came to me and told me to write down my questions for God, listen for the answers, and write down the answers. And in the process of doing that, this idea came up, but I didn't know how to cook, nor did I have the money to own a restaurant. So I just kept asking those questions to God and was like, you know, what am I going to do? God was like, okay, you willing to learn how to cook? And I was like, yeah. So I went through that process, and what happened was I got laid off from that job, and a friend of mine who used to work with me at that job called me and said, my company is putting on a free jazz festival in front of City Hall called Jazzy Summer Nights. It was every first Thursday in the summer. So she was looking for vegetarian vendors. I called a couple people I knew. They didn't want to do it because they said there was too many black people out there and didn't think they wanted to eat the food. So in the process of calling her back, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try and do this. And so that's how the Vegetarian Kitchen came up. We did that event and we sold out of food in an hour.
Wow.
We set the food up at 6. The event was supposed to be from 6 to 10. And we sold out of food by 7 o'clock and was just water and juices. And every time we went out there, we just kept selling out of food. We just could not make enough. So
that's incredible. Won't he do it? The man said he didn't know how to cook. Winged it. And this is what we have today.
Boom.
Land of Kush. Once again, located on 840 North Utah Street, right here in Baltimore. Now, you talked about the founders. How did you come up with the name of the restaurant?
So I study African history from time to time, and so the goal was to engage conversation around black history outside of slavery, because most of us know, as African Americans, know our slavery from slavery up until now.
That's it.
And that's it, and not knowing that we have a very deep history across the globe and prior to slavery. So I just wanted to bring some light to that. So Kush is ancient Nile Valley civilization, kind of the birthplace to Egyptian theology, which is the birthplace to all theology, civilization, science, arts, mathematics. And so I just wanted to bring light to that.
He's schooling y'all. He's schooling y'all people. Absolutely, absolutely. Because that's so very important. That's so very important. The evolution and the history of our civilization as we know it traces back to what you talk about.
Absolutely.
But that's for another subject. You know what I mean?
We won't get too deep today.
All right. What's, to you, going back to the restaurant, what's the biggest misconception about vegans or vegetarians that you've encountered?
The biggest misconception is either the food doesn't taste good or it's just bird food is what people like to term it, or rabbit food. And that's not the case. I mean, when you look at the spectrum of plant-based foods, I mean, we eat from beans, grains, vegetables, fruits, nuts, and seeds. And when you look at that spectrum of food, it's bigger than what you may possibly know, especially when you look to other cultures, when you look to India, Africa, the West Indies, South America, and you look at the foods that they eat, you know, the plant-based foods that they eat, it's just a lot of food and a lot of different ways to cook food and prepare food, sauces and all those things go along. And then when you learn, you know, we know how to flavor food, so, you know, once you learn how to season things, boom, you know, you bring out a whole different experience in
Absolutely.
food.
Shout out my West Indians, you know, I'm half and half. I'm half Trinidadian, half Jamaican.
Word.
So I know exactly what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
That's great though. Bring in wifey, you want to give your wife a shout out? She's coming on camera?
No, she ain't coming on camera. Sorry.
I made him give you a shout out earlier. So. Yeah. You owe me one. All right, now talking about the food, and you talked about everything being plant-based, natural. Talk about what's exactly on the menu.
Oh man.
On your menu.
We'd be here another hour if I talked about everything that's on the menu.
Break it down. We got time.
So we got vegan barbecue rib tips, because of course we do a vegan soul food cuisine. So it's vegan barbecue rib tips, smoked collard greens, candy yams, vegan mac and cheese. We do smoothies, we do fresh pressed juices, vegan crab cakes on the weekend.
Top voted. Talk to her. Introduce your wife. I'm sorry.
Oh, this is my wife, Naja Wright Brown. Also partner in the business, co-owner in the business. She does all the marketing,
special events,
special
vegan
events,
Soul Fest, Baltimore Vegan Restaurant Week,
taste testings.
Why is she not sitting there?
I don't know why you wanted me. You should have had her.
I'm doing wedding.
They always know everything. We know nothing.
I'm doing wedding contracts right now. It's a on-site wedding.
Doing wedding contracts.
Yeah, I'm writing up contracts. So I'm sorry. just got finished with one that we're doing for August 20th.
Absolutely.
So actually, I found you guys originally on TripAdvisor. And now me and my wife have been living here for 4 years. I'm going on 4 years. And I remember seeing everything on TripAdvisor, all the pictures that people were posting on TripAdvisor. I'm like, how is this not meat? You know what I mean? Because it looked identical to what I'm accustomed to eat. So, like, I had never heard of a vegan crab cake until you guys. So I feel like you guys are pioneering a lot of what's on your menu. Nobody seems to quite
I wouldn't necessarily say pioneer, but I mean, we brought the popularity of it. But one of the things is to get people who weren't vegan to try vegetarian food, vegan and vegetarian food. So in order to do that, especially with black people, like you gotta give them something familiar. You know, so that's what we did is we gave people something familiar that they were used to. Rib tips, okay, mac and cheese.
It's
we
not
gave
all
them some
rabbit food.
Right. So we
that's right.
So we gave people something familiar to attach to, and we gave them a flavor profile that they can get with. You know, it wasn't just bland. We really season the food. We make homemade sauces. We make our cheese from scratch. So we do a lot of stuff from scratch. We prep. You know, my staff is back there now prepping collard greens, yams, and, you know, prepping fruits and vegetables. Like, this is not prepackaged, you know, already cut stuff. This is stuff that we're making from scratch. And so
vegan soul.
Vegan
That's
soul.
why I hashtag you guys vegan soul quite
absolutely,
often.
Absolutely.
I actually sent a friend of mine, or a coworker of mine and a friend. He came by yesterday and tried the rib tips.
Right.
Just from seeing, you know, I tagged you guys to promote this interview.
That's
and he
what's
said,
up.
let me head out down there and see what's going on. So this morning, when I went to work, he tells me the rib tips are off the chain, macaroni and cheese off the chain. So, and he's a big meat eater.
Right.
You know what I mean? So just for him to, you know, hit you guys up and, you know, experience something different.
And that's what it's all about, is getting people to experience something different and step outside of their comfort zone.
Right.
A lot of times we stay within our comfort zone, especially around food, because it's a cultural, it's a family thing. So it was to get people to step outside of that box and try something and think a little differently.
I can dig it.
Ordinary Horizons, the whole purpose of the Vegan Soul Fest on August 26th, and the Baltimore Vegan Restaurant Week, which starts August 18th through the 26th.
It's next week.
Next week.
That's next week. Okay. So, speaking to the idea of people trying things new, what do you recommend for the rookie vegan or the rookie vegetarian? I just changed my lifestyle today or this week. What do you recommend for me or
kale?
Somebody else.
Nothing
wrong with it, but the kale salad is one of our biggest sellers. So we do a raw kale salad mixed with a garlic avocado dressing. Something like that. Now, if you're talking just coming into the restaurant, you know, I'm always going to recommend the rib tips, the curry chicken, or the crab cakes, or even the lentil burgers. A lot of times people choose that.
I ask how one eats. Are you a heavy eater or light eater? Because I like the lentil burgers, the rice and veggies, and either the kale salad or the greens. So I usually ask, were you a heavy meat eater, or are you more like fish, or you know? Then I kind of gauge what to recommend. So yeah, like, what did you like eating?
That curry chicken though, I can't get my mind off of it.
Yeah, so it just depends on, you know, your individual palate. And then if you're trying stuff at home, I always recommend people, you know, grains, beans, vegetables, your leafy greens, you know, always something like that. Your root vegetables like your carrots. You know, stick to stuff that you're familiar with. Fruit, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people may veganism and vegetarian food so complicated, and we do. It doesn't have to be. A banana is vegan. You know what I'm saying? An apple is vegan. An orange is vegan. You know what I'm saying? So you can go that simple.
Right. So you also have smoothies too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You have a dessert menu.
We got some desserts here. We got a dessert specialist, Cameron's Treats, who brings us some sweet potato cakes, pineapple upside down cakes, and then cookies. Chopped in the raisin.
Yes. I eat about this much today, so everything's sounding good right now.
Yeah. So, and then some stuff we do in house, like we do a cornbread, or for special catering events, like we might do other desserts, like we do a carrot cake. We just did a pineapple upside down cake.
Gluten-free.
Is that here right now? Is that?
No.
That
joint was smooth.
Asking for a friend.
That's gonna be part of the gluten-free pineapple upside down cake. It was so good, I couldn't even tell it was gluten-free.
But there's no leftovers though. That's the point I'm trying to make.
No, not with the staff. No. They're not gonna leave you.
All right, now as soon as I walked in the door here today, this is my first time, obviously. I'm a big music person.
Right.
I DJ for 12 years. Right.
Okay.
Soul music. I can dig that. All right. Describe or explain for the people that can't see or hear right now the restaurant experience if they eat in, and the ambiance here. Do you guys do any? What I'm saying is, do you guys do any special events or live singing, or is that something you're entertaining in the future? Because the vibe here is just nice.
It's just
chill.
It's a small space, so it's difficult to do like live events. We've done stuff here where we've had singers, drummers, bands, small bands in here.
Meetups.
Yeah, we've done.
So people may speak and perform during that time.
We've done happy hours and things like that. But it just depends on the vibe. Like the music that we play generally depends on the vibe. Like, I mean, you hear Sade in the background right now rocking, but you might come in here Fela Kuti, or you might come in here Capleton or Sizzler or Bob Marley, or you might come in here and hear Stevie Wonder, or you might hear, Bad Boy, you might hear Biggie or Tupac, or you might hear a variety of music in here because just like we have a wide palette of food, we have a wide palette for music, and so we try to play that, and you might hear Jamiroquai when you come in here.
I can dig it.
You know what I'm saying?
I like that. I would stay just because.
Yeah, Jamiroquai, get you rocking, but like it's raining outside, like I like the vibe right now, so it might be a Jill Scott type of laid back day, type of thing. So
I like that. Okay, now you guys are spearheading Baltimore Vegan Restaurant Week, which you said starts the 18th.
That's my wife.
Talk about that.
We've partnered with Golden West Cafe over in Hamden, who had already been doing their own version of a vegan week within their restaurant. And I've been trying to find something different to do outside of the Vegan Soul Fest. So I approached them. I said, hey, we could make this a big thing and do it across the city in different neighborhoods. And they jumped on board immediately. Loved the idea. And this gives a chance for veg restaurants and maybe not some veg restaurants to jump on board and be more creative with their menu and invite vegans into their space. So the Baltimore Restaurant Week is going to give this opportunity from August 18th leading all the way up into the Vegan Soul Fest on August 26th. So we have participating restaurants listed at mdveganeats.com. So you want to go there, check out all the information. Land of Kush is going to have something going on every day during that week session from the 18th all the way up to the 26th. So you want to check out our Facebook page and website so you can know what's going on.
Okay, give that website one more time.
mdveganeats.com.
I can dig it. I like it. Any shout outs or acknowledgements, shout outs y'all want to give? Anybody?
Without the staff,
they back there working.
We wouldn't. Without the staff, we wouldn't be able to manage it. We just got an influx of customers over the past couple of weekends. We don't know what's happening. I think it's what the hell.
It's God is blessing.
We've just been getting slammed. We appreciate everybody's patience. Food's been running out. It's a good thing. The staff is employed. They're working hard to serve the customers. So we just blessed. We're just blessed with that. So shout out to all the staff working at the Land of Kush.
Amen to that. Absolutely. And give out your social media information one more time.
So you can find us landofkush.com. You can find us on Facebook at the Land of Kush, Instagram at the Land of Kush. You can find me at Chef G Brown. You can find Naja at Naja Wright. So holla at us, come see us.
Yeah,
we're open 7 days a week.
Go to events. Always check out what's going on. We're always posting events. Definitely follow us on Instagram and Facebook because we're really, really active on social media.
Yeah.
So if you want to know what's going on, that's where you want to go. Facebook, Instagram.
The Land of Kush, 840 North Utah Street. The Land of Kush, 840 North Utah Street. I'm getting ready to grab some of this curry chicken. Naja, Greg, thank you for spending some time with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I always like to see married couples. Tony.live@gmail.com.